My name is Pat Hinchey. I am professor of education at Penn State. I am engaged primarily in teacher education, although I'm rather proud of the fact that I teach issues in American education to undergraduates from other programs. It's a gen ed course. And I'm happy about that because I feel strongly we need an educated public to be thinking about issues in American education, and I think one way to get it is by talking to undergrads about the issues and informing them about things like teacher assessment.
What are your research interests?
For a very long time, my research interest hinged on improving classroom practice in a variety of ways. Most notably, I was trying to get the rather dense critical theory, ideas of critical theory, into the heads of teachers and helping them understand how that kind of theory could help them promote social justice with their teaching. But somewhere over the last decade, the intrusion of federal policy into K-12 classrooms has pulled me over to a very strong concern for federal policy and the kinds of things it's promoting and the reasons that certain things are being promoted. And I think that right now teachers are so constrained in classrooms that we have to be working at the policy level to try and recreate conditions where they have a good bit more control and can do much better work than I believe current policy will allow them to do. What's driving me is the fact that there's lots of evidence that documents that most American schools are pretty good. We have some horrible schools. The really horrible schools are schools housing poor kids that don't have any resources, and there are no resources in their neighborhoods either. So we have all of these problems caused by poverty, health problems, lack of resources for the schools. We have all these problems caused by poverty, and we are not talking about addressing poverty as a way to get at some of the problems in schools. Well, lately I've done some work on teacher assessment. And I am persuaded, and I have been for some time, because I have seen it in the business literature and I have seen it in other government documents, I am persuaded that we are pursuing value-added assessment of teachers as a tool to produce some numbers that theoretically measure the efficiency of a human teaching force, so that those efficiency measures can then be compared to efficiency measures generated by computer-driven instruction, so that someone can say, oh, see, computers do it just as well as or better than human teachers, so that then we can magically get along with far fewer teachers. It's just resentment at what I perceive to be a very duplicitous argument in favor of teacher assessment. Teacher assessment is important, I would agree. I think we need to get ineffective teachers out of classrooms. I think there's a lot to be done there. But I think if teacher assessment were really about closing achievement gaps and better education, we'd be talking about poverty and not value-added formulas. Truly what has motivated me is a genuine desire to contribute in any way that I can to classrooms that better serve children and that help educate people who can be active citizens of a vibrant democracy.